you like crazy stories where babies pop out in people's bathrooms, then this is the one for you. Hi! Welcome to my channel. If you have been watching my videos, then you know I have not been doing videos in a while. I've been gone for a while because my pregnancy I didn't feel good. It wasn't a fun 9 months, that's for sure. I'm glad that the baby is out of my stomach and he's chilling over there. You'll see him in a little bit, don't worry. But I'm so happy that he's out, and I'm actually here right now doing this video to tell you a little bit about how he decided to come out. Because it was not at all what I was planning to happen. Not that you can really plan at all what happens when you have a child. I just needed to tell you. Okay, so let's get into it. We shall start off by me being up throughout the middle of the night because I'm just having like tons and tons of cramps, just like, I would say worse than your normal period cramps. I'm sure if you're a dude watching this, you're like, yeah, I don't want to know about any of this. Well then, why are you watching this? I'm just kidding. Keep watching it. It's okay. You're not going to know about some of the things that I'm talking about feeling wise and stuff. And you're probably going to hear some things and be like, ew, gross, that's disgusting. Actually, girls will probably also hear things that might be disgusting, but birth is not. I mean, there's blood and all kinds of crap coming out of you, so. And also literal crap could come out of you, so. Poop. I'm talking about poop, people. Poop could come out of you. I'm sorry. We're gonna get back on track here. Oh yeah, I was having like really bad cramps throughout the night. Finally got to sleep, woke up in the morning to contractions, and I was like, no. Oh, also, oh my gosh, I'm totally forgetting. I didn't know where I was at all with anything because both of my last 2 appointments had been canceled because I tested positive for COVID. So did Noble. We're just a house full of sick people. I was 2 weeks away and I was taking care of Noble, who was sick. He had to have like that mask on him every few hours to help him breathe. What is it called? I don't even know. Whatever. Anyways. And like I was in bed because I just felt terrible, and I was told not to walk around and stuff because we didn't want the baby to come until like I got 2 weeks out or whatever. So this day that I'm talking about is 2 days before my due date. So 4 days before my doctor's appointment. That I woke up the next morning after having cramps all through the night. I woke up the next morning to contractions, and starting at 9:30 I woke up to contractions all the way until like 4 something, I believe, is when we went to the hospital. Still having contractions all that time. I was having contractions, and they weren't like perfectly 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. They weren't all perfectly, they were kind of all over the place. But I continued to have contractions. They didn't go away. I called. They suggested I just come in and get checked. So I went in. They monitored me. They checked me. I was only 1 centimeter. They had kept me longer, monitored me, and then checked me again. I was still 1 centimeter. And they were like, you can either stay here, which is what I should have done. But she checked me and she was like, I don't think you're in labor. If you are in labor, you're in very early labor, which could last days or even weeks. And I was like, I'm gonna feel this for weeks? No, thank you. Like, I don't want to feel this for weeks. I was hoping maybe I'd come here and you'd be like, you're 3 centimeters or 4 centimeters. We're gonna keep you here because your baby's probably coming today. But no, they're like, if this is even labor, it's super early labor. We're just gonna send you home. Take some Tylenol or whatever. Drink some water, that kind of thing. Then we get in the car because they, discharged me. And I was in the car still having contractions. And I noticed that they were a little more intense. And I just assumed that was because I got checked. So I was like, maybe that's what it is. We got home. It was an hour drive from our doctor to the house. And another reason why I didn't really want to leave, because it was an hour drive. And then when we got home, oh my goodness, my back was on fire. My back felt like it was going to explode. We get home, Dwan goes and takes a shower. And so Dwan's in the shower. So for like 30 minutes, I'm just bouncing on the yoga ball, doing whatever I can to make my back not feel like I'm going to die. And it hurt so bad. And it didn't matter whether I was standing or walking or whatever. I was in pain, and I couldn't not say ow or make some kind of noise when the contractions came. And they kept coming, they wouldn't stop. And I was like, no, we just left. I don't want to feel stupid and turn around and go back to the hospital right after we just left, because I got checked. So that's probably why I'm feeling worse contractions. And she told me I could feel this for weeks. That's what I kept thinking in my head, was I could feel this for weeks. I'm gonna die. I cannot feel this for weeks. If this is gonna happen for weeks, I'm not gonna make it, is what I was thinking. I'm not gonna make it. I can't do this for weeks. I can't do this for days. I just want it to stop. Dwan came out of the shower and he was like, do you want to go lay down and see if maybe that helps? Because I think he could tell that I really didn't feel good. And I was like, I don't think it will, but okay. I went in the bedroom. I laid down. And that an hour had gone by of me bouncing on the ball and just sitting there hoping something would stop or change or whatever. And then I went and laid on the bed, laid there. Somehow it was an hour. I don't even know. Time was going by so quickly, and I was just in so much pain. When I started squeezing his hand during the contractions, I was like, this isn't normal. This is not just Braxton Hicks or early labor contractions. This is what I was doing during Noble's pregnancy towards the end. And then another contraction hit and it was even worse. And I just started crying. I think I knew what was coming and what was happening, and I didn't want it to be happening. So I called the actual hospital and talked to the nurse. And this is what she told me. She told me, take Tylenol, drink a glass of water, take a bath. And then in an hour, see how you feel. I hung up and I looked at Dwan and I said, we have to go. We have to go to the hospital. I know this isn't normal. We have to go. I told him, let me go to the bathroom real quick, and then we'll get in the truck and we'll go to the hospital. And I got up from the bed, which my bed is just right here, and this is the bathroom door. Got up from my bed, walked into the bathroom, sat on the toilet to pee, is what my plan was. I'm just gonna pee real quick. You always have to pee when you're pregnant. I mean, you do. You just gotta pee all the time. After you pee, you should just sit down again and pee, because you probably need to. But anyways, I just went in the bathroom to sit down and pee. That was my plan, was to pee. Just pee and then leave. Get to the hospital. I sat on the toilet to pee. I had one contraction on the toilet. It was really, really bad. It sucked. I hated it. And I looked at Dewan and I told him I can't move. Like I can't move. All of a sudden my body starts trying to push, and I just start crying, and like I'm screaming super duper loud. With every contraction I'm just yelling, like, oh my gosh, I was yelling so loud. And I was so worried because Noble was out in the living room with my mom. Thank goodness she was here. But I was screaming super loud, and all I was thinking was like, oh my gosh, I hope I'm not freaking him out. Like, I don't want him to be scared. But my mom did a very good job of taking care of him and making sure that he was okay. But oh my gosh, I was just screaming like so loud. I was terrified. I couldn't believe, like, when this was happening and I was pushing, I wasn't even thinking that I was pushing. Like, I wasn't even comprehending that it was happening because I did not want it to happen. I had 4 more days that I was waiting to go to my appointment and then be told where I was at and what was going to happen and all that kind of stuff. But Honor had other plans. So I was sitting on the toilet and pushing and hoping in my head that I'm not actually pushing and this baby is not about to come out in my house without any kind of professional there, without any kind of medical equipment. If something is wrong, I did not want to have him at the house. I did not want anything bad to happen. Like, I was so terrified. Like, I can't even tell you how scared I was. I don't want to cry because I've been trying not to think about this because of how I feel like I'm going to cry now because of how terrifying it was, because of how it was so scary. Like, I can't even tell you how scared I was that it was happening here at the house. Thank goodness Dwan was here, because 10 minutes after I got off the phone with this nurse who told me, you know, don't worry, take some medicine, take a bath, in an hour, see how you feel. 10 minutes after that phone call, a baby came out. But I was on the toilet, 10 minutes of pushing the baby's head on her was started showing. It came through. Dwan, I couldn't move. I couldn't get off of the toilet. I don't know if it was fear, if it was pain, or if it was everything. Dwan picked me up. He laid me on the ground. And like, I was freaking out because in those minutes of his head just sticking out and his rest of his body not coming out, Dwan didn't know what to do. I didn't want to cry. I didn't know what to do. I just wanted him to be okay. I knew he needed to get out and that he needed to cry, and that we needed to make sure that he was breathing, and his head was just sticking out for a little bit. I'm like, pushing and trying to get him to come out. Dwan actually, I think, helped get him to come out. And then he popped out, and what I didn't know, because I mean, I'm just laying on the ground on the floor in the bathroom. I didn't even know this until Dwan told me, but the cord was around Honor's neck. And after Dwan caught him, he unwrapped it, and like he was patting him, trying to get him to cry, and trying to call 911 at the same time. And the 911 call was not going through. Called again, it wouldn't go through. I think he called like 3 or 4 times. It finally got through, and he told them his wife had just had a baby, and they stayed on the phone with him. They had him tie a shoelace around the umbilical cord, which I'm not exactly sure why. They stayed on the phone, and in 7 minutes, our house was full of firemen and EMTs. Like tons of people were in my house, and I'm laying on the floor, don't have pants on or anything. I still didn't think that it actually had happened, that I had just pushed a baby out, because in 3 hours I had gone from 1 centimeter to having a baby on my chest, and it was nuts. It was just terrifying and crazy. They were checking me, they were checking the baby. They cut his umbilical cord, or Dawn did. I don't even know who cut it. I know it was cut, and then they came in with a stretcher and they had it in the front of my house. So then I literally, right after pushing him out, I had to get up and walk. And of course, like, I'm just thinking in my head, I don't want to get blood on the carpet. Like, that's what I'm thinking, like, ew, gross, like, this is disgusting. But so I had them have a towel on the ground for me because I was so worried about getting any kind of grossness on the carpet in my bedroom. And literally a firefighter had a towel and was dragging it, and I was taking steps while he was dragging it on the floor because that's what I was worried about. But anyways, got out of the bedroom, didn't get blood anywhere or anything because the firefighter with a towel, thank you. And then got out there, they got a stretcher, they got me on it. I don't even know how I got on it. What happened? I didn't jump on it or anything. I don't know, but I got on there somehow. I don't know if somebody lifted me or what. And then when I got on there, I literally, all these firefighters, I had so many towels and blankets like draped over me to cover, like cover my bottom half because I was naked. And like, I feel like each person put some kind of something over me to cover me. And so I had like a pile of blankets and towels on me to cover me. And then they put Honor on my chest, and Noble was in the front entryway area. My mom was holding him, and he was asking me if I was okay and stuff, and I told him yes, that I was okay, that I loved him. Like, I still can't believe that it happened. I go sit on my toilet to pee, and it's like, not PTSD, but it's like, you just remember what happened in there, and it's terrifying. I never want that to happen again. I never wanted that to happen. Yeah, it was so scary. But anyways, they put me on the stretcher, and Dwan was going to get in his truck and follow us to the hospital, and they were just going to take us to the closest hospital, which I think was like 15 minutes away from our house or something like that. It was really close. Wheeled me out of the house and got me in an ambulance. And while I was in that ambulance, before we even took off, they were checking me, checking Honor's face started turning blue and purple. And so they were putting oxygen on him, and they kept like patting him and stuff, trying to crying and make sure he was breathing. And then one of them came and grabbed him and took him to the other ambulance because he said he didn't like the color of his face. And it was terrifying. I hated that few minutes that he was not with me, because I didn't know what was happening. I was so in a daze and so just shocked, and I couldn't even say anything when the guy came and took him. But they brought him back after like, I don't even know, it felt like forever, but it was probably just a few minutes. And he said that he looked better, and they gave him back to me. But they kept putting oxygen on him because he kept, I don't know, like his face, I don't know why he was having trouble breathing. Maybe it was because the cord around his neck when he came out, or just how fast he came out. I'm not exactly sure, but for some reason he kept changing to blue and purple. It was really scary, and I hated it because Dwan wasn't with me. Dwan was getting in his truck. He was grabbing our bags, grabbing my phone because it was on the counter in there. They're like, okay, we're gonna go to the hospital. So they shut the doors and booked it. They were trying to put an IV in me, and they stuck me like 3 or 4 times while we were like bouncing around in there. They're like holding on to stuff, and someone's like trying to stick me while we're flying through lights and stuff. Yeah, it was so crazy. They were trying to stab me. So I had 2 people doing things to me, checking my blood pressure, trying to stab a needle in me. And then I had 2 people behind me because I had Honor on my chest. I had one person trying to hold the mask on him, and then I had another person like patting him, trying to get him to cry. That way he would breathe in the oxygen better, and also, you know, keep him awake, since his face kept changing to blue and purple while we were driving to the hospital. The whole thing was so scary, and like I hated having to be separated from Dwan for, you know, that part. And then they wheel me into the hospital when we get there, still on the stretcher, and they don't take me into a room. There's like downstairs part in the emergency room where there's this huge, like, it doesn't have a door or anything, just a huge room like this, full of different kinds of equipment and stuff, and tables and whatnot. And there is a desk, like check-in desk right here with a receptionist lady and stuff. And you're just like laying down like, what in the world is going on? Like, I hope I don't start pushing out the placenta with all these people standing here. But it was full, like tons of people all around me. Everybody's like, what's happening? Oh my gosh, why is this person in here and their baby? Like, and I'm just laying there with all these blankets on me. And Dwan still wasn't there for a while, so I'm like sitting in this room. They have Honor over on this table thing over here, trying to get him breathing and make sure everything's good with him. And then people messing with me and asking me if I'm okay. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm okay. I think I'm fine. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I just had a baby in my bathroom and I thought I just needed pee. And then thankfully Dwan comes in. So he was able to go over here and keep an eye on Honor and watch him and kind of see what was going on and make sure everything was okay. I'm just laying here like, my bathroom is disgusting and I'm not even going to be there to clean that up. And I remember texting my mom and telling her, sorry about the mess, because I knew that she was gonna have to clean it up. Obviously she was like, don't worry about it. Are you okay? Then they had to keep monitoring Honor. They were gonna take him to the NICU to watch over him because of the breathing issues, and he wasn't keeping his body temperature up. So I think they put him under the lamp, and so told Dwan, stay with Honor. Like, you stay with him, I can't stay with him. They were gonna wheel me to another room to pass the placenta and then check and see it, like if I need stitches or anything like that, monitor me and make sure I was okay before moving me to like the room that they keep you in after you have had a baby. And they're like, let's get rid of some of the stuff that's on you. And like, they just had like 50 things to take off of me because it was like a mountain, because Dwan had put some towels on me that we had, And then they had thrown like all these blankets on me too. So whenever I got in there, the nurse was like, oh my goodness, there's so much stuff on you. And I was just like, yeah, yes, there is. They were trying to cover me, which they did a great job. Thank you for that. Because nobody wants to just be like laying there naked on a stretcher or anything like that. Especially with that many people all around. It was so awkward and weird. And it was just like this is not a TV show. This is real life. Push the placenta out, which I'm sure everybody wants to hear about that. But I pushed it out. They had to clean me up, whatever. I had to get stitches. Some random doctor came in and he was like talking to me and so blobbity bloobity and la la la, and I'm just like, who are you? And I don't know if I want to talk to you while you're down there. Like, this is so awkward and weird, but thank you for doing your job, because I mean, I can't do anything down there. I can't fix that myself. Dwan definitely couldn't do that, and he already caught the baby. He wasn't planning on having to do that, so yeah. But anyway, so this random guy comes in trying to have like conversation with me while he's stitching me up, and I don't even remember what he was talking about. I don't even remember what any of the conversation that we had was. I just remember that we talked about random stuff, and he was like laughing and making jokes and stuff, and I'm just like, okay. But anyways, got stitched up, and I mean, he was super nice. I have nothing against him. He did a great job. At least I don't know if he did a great job. I'm assuming he did a great job. I mean, he did his job. He did a job. I'm sure. Thank you for your services. And then Dwan came up there and found the room that I was in, because they were about to move me to the normal room after I got stitched up. Dwan filled me in on what was going on with Honor and how he was going to have to stay in the NICU overnight because they wanted to monitor him, but that he was breathing good by himself, and that his face wasn't purple or blue anymore, but they just wanted to keep an eye on him to make sure that like there's no problems or anything. Anyways, he spent a night in the NICU. Then he was in there for part of the day the next day, and then after that they were able to bring him up into our room, because after being monitored and everything, he didn't need to be like on any machines or anything, or have the oxygen mask on him or anything anymore. He was doing good. And then he was able to stay in the room with us, which was really nice, because we had been going back and forth to go see him all throughout the night and all throughout the morning and part of that next day. But yeah, so it was crazy. I still can't really believe that it happened this way. Like, I had a feeling that day that maybe the baby was gonna come, and then after going to the hospital and them telling me like people could be in this stage for weeks or days, I was like, maybe not then. Maybe I'm making out that it's worse than it is, or maybe because I was induced last time, it felt different. I don't know. But next time, I'm not leaving the hospital. You're gonna have to drag me out of there. Because if I start having contractions and they don't stop, no, I'm going to duct tape myself to the bed. I'm seriously not gonna leave though. Nope, I don't care if I'm 1 centimeter or from half a centimeter, whatever. I'm not leaving. I'm gonna live there. Because of how fast this happened and how terrifying it was. I wouldn't want anyone to go through it that way. It was so scary. It was the most terrifying thing I've ever been through. Like, with Noble, I had him. I was pushing for an hour. And then they had to cut me, and then he came out. And they put him on my chest, and that was the best, most amazing moment in the whole wide world. And with Honor, that was the scariest moment that I've ever been through in my whole entire life. It's kind of, it kind of sucks a little bit. Like the moment you look forward to your whole entire pregnancy, I didn't get to enjoy that moment because of how it all happened. Like, I know he was placed on my chest, and like I held on to him, but happiness was not what was going through my head at all. I was crying hysterically, like just bawling, telling Dawn, call 911, call them. Like I was so scared. Yeah, no, it just kind of sucks because that moment wasn't as, I don't know, it was just not what I would have wanted it to be. I mean, I'm happy he's good. I'm happy I'm good. But I didn't know I was going to be good. I didn't know he was going to be okay. I didn't know what was going on. Yeah. Anyways, if you have any questions or if I hopped around too much and it's confusing, ask me questions down below and I will try and answer them as best I can. But would you like to meet Honor? He's asleep right now. It's okay. But this is... I'll try to show you better. Oh, was the light so bright? I'm sorry. Oh. This is Honor. Honor Elijah Cheney. This is the little guy that just couldn't wait. He had to come out, huh? And if you ever saw baby Noble, then he looks a lot like his brother, his big brother. He looks a lot like him. Yeah, thank you so much for listening. I am gonna start doing videos again. I feel so much better now that I've had him. Don't forget to hit the bell so you know when a new video goes up, and subscribe to my channel if you want to. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. This is my cute baby. Come back and see what I have in store for my next video. I have to figure that out. But I will, I promise. Bye!